Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at the Xiaomi Mi 5. This phone was released last year, but still has good specs. Now let's see if it still stands on its own, or if you should look at newer options like the Xiaomi Mi 6. Well, before we start this review, of course this is sponsored by Banggood.com. If you are interested in this device, I will place a link in the description. Of course, don't forget to subscribe for more reviews and of course concepts. Now before I'm getting the Xiaomi Mi 6, I'm looking at what last year's option has to offer. And if this might be the best budget phone you can buy at the moment. To start off, the Xiaomi Mi 5 still rocks some good to decent specs. To start off, it has a Snapdragon 820, 3GB of LPDDR4 RAM, 64GB of internal memory with UFS 2.0, which is the faster memory, and the 3000 mAh battery that should easily last you through the day. Because on the front we find just a 5.15 inch Full HD screen, what in today's standards seems really small, but it's very nice to hold because of its size. But not only does the battery last long, but because of the USB-C port it will charge fast as well. The specs of the phone are because of this not very dated, albeit that it only has 3GB of RAM, which shouldn't be considered as a problem or low, but do keep it in mind. And it doesn't support a micro SD slot. But then again you will have 64GB of internal memory. You should be good to go for some time, and with the USB-C port you can easily transfer data fast if need be to your laptop or computer. Now at the moment of recording, the Xiaomi Mi 5 is just about €193 at Banggood.com. For that price you get so much more than just specs. To start off, the design looks very clean. It has the same curved glass at the back as the Samsung Galaxy S7, and because of the small black lines around the display, it seems to make the side bezels somewhat disappear, although there isn't really a big bezel to begin with. In terms of design though, I do have to admit that I have some smaller things that I don't like. For one, the fingerprint scanner / home button. It just seems a bit too small to fit nicely. And when you have the phone facing down, those small metal frames that make it nice to hold in your hand itself makes it hard to pick up the device itself. And to get back to that fingerprint scanner for a moment, there's something else. While it works good and unlocks fast, I'm not that happy about it for one main reason. On the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X, you had the possibility to easily place your finger on the fingerprint scanner and the screen goes on and it unlocks. However, in the Mi 5, you first have to put your screen on and then use the fingerprint scanner. It's a small thing, but I loved it on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X. Now where I'm honestly mostly surprised about is its camera. With the experience that I had with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X, I felt like this one wouldn't be that much better seeing the price difference. But it really is. Pictures are pleasing to look at with good saturations. Yes, sometimes like I said, it can create effects where, for instance in this picture, you cannot properly differentiate the leaf of the flower itself, but the punch of the colors are pretty good. The automatic focus works very well as well. Sometimes it even does a better job at it than my Sony Xperia XZ Premium, which camera app is, well, we'll get back to that on my review on that one later. However, where it somewhat falters is in low light shots. But let's take a quick look at why. So the Xiaomi Mi 5 rocks a 60 megapixel camera that has f2.0 aperture with a pixel size of 1.12 UM. Now this isn't really bad, but it isn't great either. It's not that this phone is bad at taking low light pictures, it can still create some nice pictures, but grain will somewhat be a factor for the pictures that you are taking. It does really help that the Xiaomi Mi 5 features optical image stabilization, unlike for instance the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X. This optical image stabilization helps a lot in low light pictures because there is less movement, but you don't expect the same beautiful pictures with a good dynamic range to show up in low light shots. And of course the optical image stabilization helps with recording as well. It makes the footage so much smoother than it would be when you wouldn't have it. In this case I really tried to make it shake so that we can see how the optical image stabilization holds up. Now as you can see, the footage itself isn't that stable, but then again it would be worse without optical image stabilization. Now when we look at the display, we of course have a much smaller display than people are used to today. It just has a 5.15 inch Full HD display, but because of its size it still has a pixel density of 428 ppi. The colors are nicely saturated and the display is bright enough even if there is sun reflecting directly on your display itself. The screen is also protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 4. This is the same for the back. Now when you want to watch videos on your phone, the sound will be good enough, but nothing great to write home about. It has a similar location as the Samsung Galaxy S7, meaning it's facing away from you, but the sound is loud enough. While it might look like you have dual speakers at the bottom, the one on the left is it to make it symmetrical. Now the software has its own skin over it, but in Android terms it runs Android 6.0 standard, but you can upgrade it to Android 7.0. I kept it on Android 6.0 for the review purpose. While maybe a bit outdated, it still runs smoothly through your interface. And while I'm not a fan of the standard skin that you get with it, it has a nice selection of skins in the theme map, allowing you to customize the look of your device to any skin that is online. Now what is also pleasing to see for some people is that with the Xiaomi Mi 5 you still have an IR blaster on the top of the device, allowing you to control your TV via your phone. At the end, I'm very surprised by the solid performance of the Xiaomi Mi 5. And if you are looking for a budget device, I think this is really something you should consider and place on your list. Yes, it does have small points, but the device still works great today. Now when it comes to budget phones, it's sometimes better to look at what last year had to offer. This is because the prices of those devices are going down simply because they are releasing their new version of that same device. Oh, and it still has a 3.5mm jack. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Xiaomi Mi 5 to see how this contender of last year still holds up. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, comment and like. And of course, don't forget to press that bell icon so when I upload a new video you will get a message on your phone that I uploaded a new video. Anyway, have a good one and thank you for watching.